So I'm going to ask you, gents, the title race. Do you think it's over? I know it's early days. I know there's slightly over 20 games left, 21, I believe. So what do you think?
Wow, look, for me, they're only 8 points clear at the moment because there's Leicester and Chelsea. You know, they're flying. I mean, I think everyone's getting carried away now. You know, it's City and Liverpool, and don't get me wrong, they are the two best teams, I think, in Europe at the moment. And we looked at the game today, and yes, like I said, Liverpool for me were fantastic, and it's the best I've seen them play. But City still create a lot of chances, and on another day, it could have been a completely different story.
You just don't want to say it too soon, do you? You're just
No,
afraid.
no, it's not that. I just know the Premier League. I just know that you can go away January in an away game and feeling good, and then just get turned over by a team that's not even in contention or just in the middle, just cruising along, because that's how ruthless this league is.
That's only mentally though, isn't it? I mean, a lot of that's mental, the way you approach each game. The only thing I would say is that out of all the other teams in the league, who is of the same level as Manchester City? Who was capable of creating the similar sort of opportunities like Manchester City did today against the Liverpool side? Okay,
but you're coming up to me, and I know you shouldn't be saying these kind of things, but as a player, you're playing Man City, so you're up for it.
Yeah.
No, you're playing at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock on Sunday away. It's like, it's cold. It's like, it's that kind of thing. And it doesn't matter who you are, you want your players to play like you're playing Man City week in, week out. But sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Can I ask then, every player you ask who's currently playing, they say, no, we take every game as it comes, we want to play in every competition, we want to win everything. But at any point in the season, do you find yourselves, because you're all winners yourselves, of actually focusing on a specific competition? I'm alluding to the Champions League for City and the Premier League for Liverpool. Is that
just take every game as it comes, really, and just work on the next
one?
one.
Is that your honest answer?
I mean, because obviously now coaching, it's different, because as a player, I will sit here and say, you know what, I just want to concentrate on the next game. I'm not looking because I'm not worried. I'm looking about my own performance. But as a manager, there's 100%. I'm looking 2-3 months in advance of the games that possibly could happen, then narrowing it down to a month. So I'm looking at what I can do, how I can space, where I can break, who I could rest, maybe who I can't rest. So I am looking at games ahead.
Micah, we're looking for the next international break, aren't we? Which holiday we're going to go on?
I just think it's a massive confidence boost for Liverpool. You know, going into international break, 2 weeks now, just to settle everything down and just play back the game, see where they can improve. For City, it's a massive blow. I would never rule City out ever, because...
Well, last season, for example.
Exactly. Was it 7 points?
Yeah, 7 points.
7 points
clear. A shorter period of time.
And, there's going to be, bumps in the road for Liverpool, but going into international break now, it's not over by any stretch of the match, but it just gives you that nice confidence that you might need.
But I think the manager and the players do look ahead. The managers look ahead, because obviously they've got planning, they're looking at the next opponents, they're looking at how they're going to rotate their squad, players are going to need a rest. So you're always looking at, as a player, I mean, I used to look every now and then, not every week. Not every week you go, okay, who we got next week? Okay, and then after that, no. But you'd be looking at the table, definitely. You'd be going, okay, wow, if we win that
it's hard
game,
not to, is it?
It's hard not to. You get drawn into it. Publicly, you don't want to give that out. You want to be focused, you concentrate on that next game and so forth. And you're doing that as well, because you're prepping every week for that next game. But you are also looking longer term ahead, definitely. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you for your honesty in that sense, because obviously when it comes to Champions League, it's knockout football as well. I mean, sometimes you just need that little bit of luck.
Well, that's what happens when you get European football. We did it. I mean, when I was playing, whether it was Middlesbrough, whether it was Fulham in the Europa League, UEFA Cup, and then with Chelsea, you always looked at your pathway. Okay, who could we get the next round? Oh, geez, it'd be good if we got this team.
You are thinking that.
Of course
so players
you are.
do think this.
Of course you are. Yeah.
I tend to disagree. I mean, I actually didn't really care who we played, because I don't think as a player, it doesn't matter who you play, you should be performing at your very best at any given level, at any given time. It doesn't matter if
it was more about excitement
home.
and about finding a pathway that you actually get the best pathway to give you the best chance.
So you're looking for the easier team, or you're looking for the harder team? That's what I'm saying.
Either way.
For me, it was all about your next game and doing your job and not getting too carried away.
But as a fan of football growing up, I mean, no offence, Stoke on a Monday night or Barcelona on a Wednesday night, which is more appealing? Which are you going to be more fired up for?
Oh, Stoke on a Monday night, absolutely.
That's the question I asked. Well, that's what I tried to ask before. It's that thing that managers probably would crave, is the fact that how do I get my players to go to Stoke, because that's part of the title title race, or are they thinking of Barcelona? No, that's a sign of a good manager, where you have to think that you can get your players up at that level.
That's the difference, isn't it? That is the manager. That's the manager's job. That's actually where he earns the most of his money. That's where his experience comes into it, and that's where you can judge a good manager, someone that can, lift a squad that's playing Barcelona the next week on a Wednesday. But you got Stoke on a Saturday, and players are thinking. Some players may be thinking, I need to conserve a little bit because we've got Barcelona, Messi, and co.
Yeah.
But you've got to have a manager that's able to lift everyone and tell everyone, listen, you've got to get through this game firstly. And anyone that leaves anything behind won't even play against Barcelona.
Well, my final question, I only have about 4 minutes left, would be, I've read books on Pep and I've read his comments, and he talked about when he was Barcelona that he couldn't offer any more to the team, that they seemed tired of him. And he seemed to hint about that when he was at Bayern Munich as well. Is there a possibility?
3 years as well. He said 3 years.
He did say 3 years, and it has a lifespan for him as a manager before they stop listening to him. Is that a possibility at all this season?
I don't think it's a possibility.
You never got tired of a manager's what he was saying?
The only time you really get tired of the manager is when you're not playing. When he puts you on the bench, I think, anyway.
Okay.
And it depends how successful you are. If Liverpool go and win the league, and Man City go win the Champions League, then it's a successful season for both of them. We can't get too excited because Liverpool have won today. It's not over by any stretch of the mark. But, it's confidence in Liverpool's corner. For me, speaking as a Man City fan, we've won the league last 2 years. If we go win the Champions League, it's successful.
Yeah.
Liverpool, European champions. If they go win the Premier League, it's a successful season for them.
That goes back to my thing about focusing on competitions, I guess.
I know, the lads are saying that they're not focusing, but now if Pep, with a 9-point gap, he's got to be saying to his players now, well, he won't do like the lads have said, but this could be their best ever chance of winning the Premier League with 9 points. So I think he's going to have his mind fully set on that.
I mean, going back to the original question about Pep and his lifespan at clubs and all that, we always hear stories of the Man City players coming out saying it is strenuous, it's fatiguing,
draining.
And not even the training, it's the intensity and the mindset that he controls, and it's hard every day. So whether it's just Pep's kind of 3 years where he can go and recharge his batteries, because at the end of the day he is a human being, because from what I hear he puts so much into it that he gives his life and soul for it. So maybe after 3 years he goes, well, it's enough for me to just kind of take a break, chill out, recharge the batteries, and maybe look for something else.
But where does he go?
I can't. Personally, I can't see him going, because what he's created at Man City, what he can achieve. I mean, why would you?
It's a dynasty. It's a dynasty. Gents, thank you so much for everything. Absolute pleasure to discuss football here with you. It's such a great stadium. And finally, I think you can go inside and walk, right? Unless you have to go to some other media work as well. I do apologise for that. My name's Adam Carruthers, of course. Always a pleasure to be here at Pitchside. We're going to take a break for the international period, but we'll be back once again in 2 weeks' time. Till then.